Well, come on in, mate. Come on in, mate. What's the problem?
Pommel endurance.
Afternoon.
Welcome to week 2, guys. I'm feeling excited. Since I just put the video out this morning, already just a lot of positive comments and feedback. And Miran, my old Japanese coach, Miran-san, konnichiwa. He gave me a call today. It was really nice of him, and he had a lot of little tips about little drills and things like that for Kovacs preparation.
From the master of Kovacs.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to start this week with a few trampoline drills that Miran gave me. So arigatou gozaimasu. I'm so appreciative of that. And we've got some ideas as well of other things to work on. So I'm feeling excited.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Ready to work hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I'm very pumped for this. Yeah.
Let's do this. Be positive.
Yeah. So the first drill today from Miran-san was just handstand bounce on the trampoline. And I was instantly excited when he suggested I do this because I have done this in the past really sporadically, once at one session randomly, I remember, and I was really focused on trying to bounce in the handstand, and I just couldn't do it at all. And I remember I actually got quite fatigued in the shoulders. And now that Miran said it, it's so obvious that I need to work on this. It's something I don't understand, and I also don't have quite the body preparation for it. So I started today with just bouncing off the knees into the handstand, and then the goal is to just be in the handstand, bouncing on the trampoline bed, but I just don't understand how to do that yet. So this is awesome. I'm excited for this one. And arigatou gozaimasu, Miran-san. Really appreciate it. I'm starting to feel a little bit of bounce here, which is cool. I feel like I really need to open my shoulders even more, which is interesting because I would think I was opening them fully, but I realize now I could open them even more. And that's definitely same thing I'm doing in the high bar. I'm not fully opening those shoulders. So I think it's maybe a little bit of flexibility, but also a bit of active strength. So yeah, it's such early days with this one. I'm just trying to figure it out, trying to stay in the handstand and bounce. And I really should just be able to stay in the handstand and bounce on the trampoline for indefinitely, I think. So yeah, I'm excited about this drill because I feel like this is definitely one of those basics that I should have had as a kid. I don't have it, so working on it now, hopefully I can progress it pretty quickly, and it's going to make a huge difference in all of my gymnastics, not just with my Kovacs.
Why are you going for that? Hurry up! No, you say hurry up! They both have their own tram. And this is how you do it, guys.
This is another pre-strength drill that Miran prescribed to me, which is just dish and Superman sort of movements. With the focus is to really stretch the arms above my head as far away as I can. So I guess that's like raising the shoulder blades, elevating the scapula, really reaching as far away as you can. And yeah, it's something I'm not used to. And these are the little things you got to do during the huge skill. So you really need to drill them with these basics so that it's like a natural thing that you do and you don't have to think about it. But at the moment it feels very unnatural and it's probably quite weak as well, with my scapula in that position that they're not used to. So this is awesome. I'm going to try and put this one in before every high bar session now. and I'll try to incorporate the same movement at the bottom of my giant, basically, to really sink under the bar nice and deep. So again, thank you, Midan-san. Really appreciate it. This one was interesting, where I thought it was really simple and easy, but I really felt it in like a really minor shoulder muscle. I don't even know which one, because it's, you know, something probably rotator cuff, but really trying to elevate the scapula and reach up as high as I can during this whole movement was difficult, or that's what made it difficult. And you can see how it replicates kind of the movements you do on the bar. I'm not 100% sure that I'm doing it right, so I'll double check this with Miran. But yeah, it was good. It definitely warmed up the shoulders, so I can see how doing this before a high bar session would be pretty helpful. And these things, I think you just got to drill them over and over and over until they become second nature. And then again, that's when you can do it in the actual complex skill without needing to think about it, because there's a lot of things you got to think about, and you know, this kind of really basic stuff needs to be autopilot.
Here, this is where you will do your swings through handstand with me. Right? Down over here. These guys, please do your swings in between.
I got one question. How is that hard?
It's just practice.
How is what hard?
I might get some of you to do some drop kicks later down here with me as well. Right, so literally today is all based on swings. What do I want to see with your toes? Pointed toes.
Okay. Reese, I've got to say, your vibes are incredible.
Yeah, let's go.
Appreciate it.
We got this.
Every time I talk to Reese, I feel like I'm going to do it. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's all we need.
To understand this exercise, the first thing is to go upward with the shoulder flex. And then when your feet are going already here on the top, okay, okay, now watch a bit more with the shoulder. See that you get stuck.
It needs to be here.
Open, yeah. There.
for these accelerating giants, I was just mainly focused on sinking under the bar, as Miran was, his like top tip for giants and that was to sink down under the bar and wait as long as possible before tapping. So I've always thought about tapping later, but not waiting as long as possible when like you couldn't tap any later. So I'll be working at that. And Miran was saying the longer you can wait, the sharper it makes you snap into the tap, or your tap into the arch body position. So yeah, I'll be working on that amongst everything else. A lot to think about. I don't know, I'm thinking about a lot of things right now. So again, I probably should just focus on one thing, get that right, and then move on to the next thing. I'm not sure what the most important thing is yet, so I'll ask a few people and go based on that. This might be completely wrong and no one's given me this tip, but I'm thinking of just copying exactly what Miran does and like throwing my head at the back, each back giant, and see what happens with that. So this is a bit of an experiment. It might be terrible, it might be amazing. Just see what happens. Actually watching that, I think there might be something to that. It kind of looked better in some ways. It felt very weird, so I'll have to get used to it. But I'm gonna have a look at a few guys that can do really nice Kovacs and see what they do with their head on the super tap and then the release. And if they throw it back like that, then I guess I should practice that too. Doing that, flicking the head back, pulling back, and then as soon as you're close to the handstand, pushing away to get all that lift. Makes sense in my head. It's the morning, Thursday night.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what are we doing this morning, Ricardo? We just did a bit of pre-strength, or not even, just strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
But I'm just showing you guys Kovacs specific work. So we're going to just start that now, I believe?
Yeah, we keep doing with the drill
Yeah.
on the bar.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do some taps today.
Cool.
And see if there is an improvement.
Yeah. And then I'm keen at the end to finish with some trampoline, if you agree with that.
Def always finish with tramp.
Yeah.
Some tramp.
I feel like, there's just so many little basics that I just need to polish and get much better at.
I think, like as I said already, like you pretty much understood the top, but there is a lot behind. It's a lot of basics and physical preparation that you missed.
Yeah.
The things that you were supposed to do when you were like younger, when you started gymnastics.
Yeah.
And obviously you miss here. So you understood how to perform the top and the skill, but it's your body is not ready.
Yeah.
It's not quite ready yet for the skill. So we need to make sure we prepare the body.
I feel like it's a lot of those little things, like even like those shoulder shrugs that I find quite taxing. They just need to be so proficient and normal that because it's for like the tiniest split second on the hard bar that you need to do that, right? At the top of the giant, but
Definitely.
it has to be so natural and strong to be able to do that. Otherwise, you don't have the time to think about it.
You should be able, if you're not able to do on the bar, on the low bar on the floor without like swinging, like it's very difficult to do on the high bar.
Yeah. So just getting all these things polished and autopilot, I'd say. Yeah.
Hopefully they will help. They will help understand a bit the top, the loading of the bar, and
I
Fingers
think
crossed.
each day it makes a bit more sense.
Yep. That's
But
good.
I'm keen. I know I got a lot of work ahead of me, and I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Let's go to work.
Let's do it.
That's good morning, baby. Look how much you're arching. Okay, do a back roll to 5. Okay, now do you see that for a moment, like you open a bit. I want to see that you go to elbows. Don't push away. That's it. You're really pushing, You're doing this. I don't want to see this. So I'll help you to go up. So what we need to do first is just do the bounce. So you need to stay like this and just hold. Hold, don't do anything. Yeah, I don't want to see any change in your shoulder or hips angle. Okay? So in the moment you start doing it, even a tiny bit of this, start going away from the bar. We can't go over. Still opening too early. Don't try to push the feet, and then you push too early. That's better. Still not enough. Yeah, 3, 4, that's better. Push.
Oh man, so hard today. Mate, sorry I'm so heavy this morning.
Destroying me.
I-
You're killing me.
It's funny, I'm trying to figure out why this is not so great today. One thing I'm definitely feeling is a bit of soreness in my outside of my shoulders. I think it's from all the work of pushing up and pulling back in the handstand drills.
Yeah, we did a lot of like upper body strength today, so it's
Yeah.
normal your shoulder be stiff and tight.
Yeah.
So it's understandable.
Yeah, but it's good. These things take a little bit of time with the strength and conditioning, but no excuse. Just keep working hard. But maybe that's one reason why it's a little bit more
Yeah. Let's-
lagging today. I don't know. It doesn't feel as dynamic as it did on Tuesday. But anyway, we'll keep pushing. We'll get it.
Go. Good. Now that you're going good, all right, make sure that when you're pushing, push tiny bit more violence. Doesn't mean you push earlier. Okay? The timing is still the same. Go, bam, good, good. Still not opening the shoulder enough. There, like for example, now you're open, but you keep your head deep. Do the opening look in the bar. You wanna try one more?
Yeah.
Bam, good.
Sweet. Thank you. That's progress. I'm about to do my first set of taps now, and it's funny, just before I started I was just thinking, like, I have so many things to think about, and it's pretty much it's just very difficult to think about them all at the same time, and that's why we practice to like consistently improve one thing, and then when that's set and automatic, then you work on the next thing. And so like all the things in my head are like, sink down under the bar, wait as long as you can before you tap. When you tap, throw your head out a little bit. When you come over the top, push, like shrug those shoulders up. All those things, and like, as much as I want to do them all at the same time, it's very difficult to, because they're all kind of new to me, to think about them all in the same set. So I'm just thinking, like, I got to pick what the most, like what's the priority right now, and try and get that right before I think about the next thing. And I don't really know yet what is most important. I guess what's the most important is to not tap too early. I'm going too much that way. So try and get over the bar, and I think waiting under the bar is going to help with that. And yeah, so sinking under the bar and waiting as long as I can. I think they're probably the two priorities right now.
But it's like informal, so it doesn't count towards my HSE. It just, they have to do it. Probably could have.
Okay, it looks a bit better than usual. Still I don't see too much violence on the top. So what you need to do, you stretch a bit more on the shoulder top, like you slow down. You feel more a block. You're going a bit too fast over.
Yeah.
Like block.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
You're going very fast over.
Yeah. I was focused here. Ricardo said to open the shoulders more at the top. So I tried to do exactly what I did before, but just open the shoulders early. But as you can see, it resulted in me just arching way too early,
Too early.
like, and not driving over. So yeah, at the moment when I'm thinking about open shoulders, what I'm actually doing is sort of like not following through with my tap. So I've got to figure that out still. Ricardo wants me to move the bar up and down, so that's the priority for this one. Let's freaking get it. This set was actually better. I'm really happy to see that I'm starting to make progress in the right direction. But the interesting thing is when I was doing it, I thought that first rep was a bad one when actually it was good. So I clearly don't understand yet what a good one feels like, if you know what I mean. And that would definitely be one reason why it's hard for me to do a good one, because yeah, I guess I'm still in that point of understanding what it feels like to do it correctly. All right, Ricardo, what do you want to do now?
All right, I would just wanna you doing normal giant, okay, and forgetting about opening shoulder on the top, and just make yourself taller, okay. Make your toes on the top of the bar and try to pull up the bar and feel a bit more the loading of the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna see that you think nothing else than lift the bar.
And we see like the average. I'll do the same thing. Normal giant, why are you opening your hips? Yeah. Okay, now stretch. Here, stretch tall. Here, stretch tall. Taller.
On these ones, I'm just going to try to actually bounce around the trampoline and not worry so much about my shape. I feel like I just need to open my shoulders more so that I can almost flip over but stop that from happening. Yeah, so just a bit of an experiment, see how this goes. Getting somewhere. I actually really like this. It probably looks really bad technique, but I'm actually getting some bounce, and it's a lot of effort through my shoulders. Yeah, so I like the strength element of this, where it's just difficult for me. And I think if I can keep building that up, then, you know, maybe one set I'll work on good technique, one set I'll work on just bouncing, and then over time I should be able to do the bouncing with better technique. It's probably the way I'll approach this one. Oh, okay, there we go. Man, that's a lot of work. There's a lot of work for me right now. I don't even know what muscles I'm working, but damn, they need it. very much. Man, this is good. It's very cool. Like, I'm getting very fatigued very quickly in exactly the position that I need to be good at for not just Kovacs, but for a lot of skills. So love this. That's getting heaps freaking better. Nice. Actually, watching this set made me realize that it's actually pretty good out of the bed, but maybe I've got to drive my hips forward more because I'm quite arched at the moment. I think if I get a little bit more open drive with the hips, it'll give me more rotation. So I'm going to give that a try before I move on to the Codys. I'm gonna do one more with my toes pointed just to make it look nice. Head in, toes pointed, that's my focus. With this one, I'm really just focused on pushing up. So like elevating my scapula as I'm doing the stretch. And just that little change makes it a lot more intense for me, where I'm just pushing my shoulder blades up and obviously trying to push them away from the wall and open my shoulders as much as I can. I also, at the end there, you can see I put my head looking at the ground because I think this is probably the ideal shape I hit in that tap into the Kovacs, where I want to be coming over the bar into just past the handstand, but before getting past the handstand, hitting this shape, because this will really allow me to pull the bar up with me as I go over the handstand. So yeah, trying to put this one in at the end of each session. Yeah, and just mainly like to build the flexibility because I think I could still be a lot more flexible in my shoulder flexion. And I'm just putting this one in again, this one's more just for the stretch rather than the shape because I think this is way too arched for what I actually want. But by doing it like this, I can get a really nice shoulder stretch. I might actually do a bridge now that I think about it because bridge is the same but just harder because you don't have the feet elevated. But I think when my feet are slightly elevated, I can really focus on getting a good stretch. In the bridge, we'll see. Previously, I wasn't, you need to have a certain level of flexibility for the bridge to be effective. I think I'm there, but let's see, I'll give it a go. But I think for anyone that's doing this, just tailor it to whatever you feel the most stretch with. So if it's with your feet elevated, do that. If it's flat in the ground in the bridge, then do that. Bit of an experiment here. I didn't mind those fast giants, and all I'm really thinking about is trying to sink down as much as I can and delay the tap as late as I can. I'm going to do the same thing, trying to, as always, do even more of that. But then also, maybe on the last one, I'm going to snap up and throw my head out and try and go to a handstand and see if that gives me that crazy good Kovacs tap. Ricardo reckons my tap is all right, but I'm not getting any loading on the bar, pulling it up. So he wants me to just focus on that now. So I'm just going to be doing some regular giant sets here, trying to pull the bar up as I come over the top, not actually worrying about the giant. So yeah, I obviously don't quite understand how to do that. And here I'm just focused on trying to do that to sort of swing up through a handstand and pull the bar with me on the way. Yeah, I'll do my best. I don't really know what to do, but that's the point of training, right? Sometimes you just got to try to do the thing and figure it out as you go. This was interesting. I actually, felt a little bit different, and I feel like I was piecing together actually how to do it, which is always awesome. So I'm going to do another set of these. if I can figure this out, that'd be very exciting. But maybe this is a key to understanding how to lift the bar up as I come over. I think I just had an epiphany between these sets. What Miran was saying about pushing up, like elevating the scapula as you come over in the handstand. Because that's pushing, I felt like I want to pull the bar to the sky, but maybe instead I got to think about pushing the bar down to get my body up. So it's almost like thinking the opposite of what I was thinking prior. So I'm going to try this and see if maybe that's the key. So instead of trying to pull the bar up, I'll think about pushing it down so that I can push my body up. And then maybe once I've done that and my body goes more up, I can then pull the bar up with me. Again, I'm just experimenting with these things and trying to think about it in different ways until I think about it in the correct way and it works for me. And I guess it's going to be different for everyone, the way to think about something that makes them do the correct motion. Morning, guys. I had an epiphany in the shower last night. I can't backward roll to handstand with a pop. I remember in Japan, it was every session we would warm up with these skills, and one was backward extension or pop handstand. And I just can't get that height, and it made me realize I definitely should be training this basic every session. So now I'm putting it into my pre-strength, and I'm going to train it when I warm up every day. And I really have to be getting that nice pop because it's exactly the same thing but on the high bar. And obviously when you're doing the easier regression, you can really focus on it, really perfect it, and then it should carry over directly. The challenge is on. Can you do a backward roll pop handstand? Can you face sideways, please? Thank you, sir. Yeah, whoever can do it, please jump in. I want to see. Show what we're trying to do. Oh, better. Oh, go for it, man. Beautiful. What are your top tips, man? For the extension roll to handstand.
It's like a transfer of energy. You go from like one direction like this, and then you pop up like that.
And you do that by, do you think like whacking the ground or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that a bit myself, like try to
Smash against the ground, and then your feet come up.
Yeah. And recently I've started thinking about, and then trying to quickly change that to a push. I don't know if you think about that, as I come over the top. I have to think about it earlier than I need to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise I just don't do it at all. Yeah. Thanks, man. I one day hope to be as good as these guys. Tully had some top tips for me. He's a bit of a tramp master over here. So what were you saying there, man?
So I was watching his last video and I noticed that you were landing with your chest up, which was like causing you to like stop your momentum backwards. So I told him to keep his chest in when he was jumping, so everything connects at once, so your core and your thighs and your quads, like all of that, and your upper chest, just like all hits, and then you rebound off, and it makes like the momentum go back a lot faster.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed you need to keep your legs tucked.
Okay.
Like your shins are hitting, and you were mentioning your toes there.
Okay.
Yeah. So and that like gets rid of all of your momentum.
Okay.
So like you notice how some goes you get like back onto like back of your head.
Yeah.
And then the others you like just barely make it to your back.
Yeah.
It's because your toes are touching.
Okay.
And then, you notice how you were like complaining about your toes hurting?
Yeah.
That's the reason you're getting no
So
rotation.
keep them real, because I'm thinking about it, but more.
Yeah, like always more, just more.
Do you
And
feel
keep
like
that core engaged.
like full hammy contraction?
Like,
basically?
mine are touching like,
Yeah,
I
nice.
feel like I want to touch my bum.
Yeah,
with them,
yeah.
And like fully engaged.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
keep it like that.
Yeah.
And then you should get it.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Man, that's freaking amazing. How did you get so good at all this stuff?
Just a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tore my shoulder, so I've been on tramp a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just a lot of practice.
I think that's a good point. Like, if you have an injury, you don't just want to sit at home and rehab and do nothing. Like, be creative and spend more time on things that you can do.
Yeah, you can always do something.
Yeah.
Like, if your leg's broken, do some core exercises or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just making the most of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone else can.
Yeah.
Just like stay fit.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
That's so good, man, because that is amazing. And then when your shoulder's healed, you're going to come back and like dominate in the aerial stuff. So
yeah.
Well done, man. That's epic.
Cheers.
It's so interesting with these handstand bounces. I noticed that I naturally am tending to bounce backwards. So my handstand is like not going over my head. It's a little bit under. I don't know how to explain it. I'm planching it a little bit as opposed to being fully open. And it's interesting because when I try to overdo it, and I often just fall onto my back. And so like everything going to handstand and that, ideally you're falling one way just as much as you're falling the other way. So I'm trying to increase the ratio of falling forwards and bouncing forwards. Obviously the goal here, ideally just bounce on the spot, but I'm tending to bounce backwards. So I'm trying to get the forward bounce so that, you know, if I can do both pretty comfortably, then I'll be able to just stay on the spot. And yeah, it's really interesting. When I think about bouncing forwards, I fatigue so quickly. And I think it's just because my shoulders are just not very strong being fully flexed, like full flexion and pushing and bouncing. They're not very strong there. And yeah, it's weird. It's like a cardio fatigue that hits very quickly for me. But this is excellent. Obviously, the more I do this, the better the quicker it's gonna improve. And again, I think it's one of those basics that hopefully I can pick up pretty quickly because I'm really focused on it and working hard. And yeah, starting to feel it a little bit. But yeah, I'm still bending my elbows a bit, and I got to get the bounce through the shoulders as opposed to the elbows. Anyway, I'm loving this drill. I love these basic drills that I'm really bad at because it seems like low-hanging fruit.
Ricardo?
I'd say a good set of giants. A good set of a pretty good giants.
That's what I was thinking too.
I was excited.
A good giant. I heard good one.
I'm feeling I come over and have a little bit of this. Like it floats a bit into it.
I don't see it. Like you need to exaggerate more.
Yeah. You want it to be...
I want to see more the lift. Pretty much, what are you doing? You're not like stretch and make yourself taller. So pretty much what I'm meaning, think of the exercise that we're doing on the floor. This action, that's what you're not doing. So when then you're kicking, you need to do this action to stretch more and create the lift of the bar. You're not doing too much to here.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying, but I need to do way more. that's it for this week of training. I'd like to be making more progress, but you know, stay optimistic. I really need to understand how to pull up the bar, to get the tension on the bar to load it like that. I think my tap is actually pretty good now. It's just I don't quite understand how to pull it up as I come over. So that's going to be the focus. I'm a bit sore, my hands are a bit sore, and my shoulders are a tiny bit sore from all the extra free strength that I've been doing. And I think that'll take a few weeks to start paying off. At least the understanding will come quickly, but the actual little strength gains and like endurance and power gains will take a little bit longer to come through. That's okay, I'll just keep working at it. And yeah, I think I now know what I need to do better than last week. So I'll keep working on that, keep improving my basics, and just keep pushing. That's what it's about, especially when there's this deadline, imminent deadline. But I want to make more progress, but all in all, I'm happy, I'm enjoying it, I'm excited. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next week.